I'm Morgan Ashley. Next at 11, danger on the interstate. Several people walking along Interstate 90 today. Why DOT says this not only poses a danger to them, but you as well. And we are just hours away from this year's Armed Forces Torchlight Parade. A look at how police plan to keep you safe. Plus, Leslie Lowe lets us know when the rain will begin tomorrow. And the former head of the FBI under scrutiny over a now deleted social media post. Why some say it could incite violence against President Trump. As NonStop Local at 11 starts right now.
Morgan Ashley with content connecting our community. You're watching NonStop Local KHQ at 11.
We had 3 individuals walking on Interstate 90 near the Geiger Grove interchange. Not typical.
Well, new tonight, a scary scene on I-90 this morning as 3 people were jumping over a concrete wall and then even walking on the interstate. Good evening. I'm Morgan Ashley. Let's give you a look right now at I-90 live in Geiger Boulevard. A much different scene than 13 hours ago. WSP says one of the 3 ran across the eastbound lanes, causing a car to swerve and nearly hit the person. Troopers then got in contact with the other 2. Troopers conducted a rolling slowdown so the remaining 2 people could get safely out of the median. WashDOT's Ryan Overton says you should never walk on a busy interstate or busy highway.
You know, anytime you have somebody walking on the interstate with speeds of 60 plus miles an hour and vehicles going past, sudden movements from an individual that could have been walking could have been disastrous.
Overton says if you break down, don't get out of your car. Instead, call WashDOT or 911 and they can send help for you. We are just 20 hours away from this year's Armed Forces Torchlight Parade. We caught up with our crew setting up for the big event where our own Sean Owsley and Leslie Lowe will be broadcasting live from. Tonight, the President's Gala for the Lilac Festival was held at the Centennial Hotel. The gala included dinner and a chance to hear from the parade Grand Marshal, that's Spokane native Navy Rear Admiral Jeffrey Killian. There's also dancing and a chance to network. Our own Haley Gunther emceed that event. This year's theme is To Spokane with Love. Earlier today was the Queen's Luncheon to kick off the parade events. People got to hear from the 2025 Lilac Queen, along with keynote speaker Elizabeth Hooker, who was last year's co-president. Kalai Chalk and Jenny Power emceed the lunch at the Centennial Hotel. Well, a live look at radar in downtown Spokane tonight. As you can see, it's not raining, but the rain will be on the way for the parade. Let's get right over to Leslie Lowe. She has a first look at the forecast.
Daytime highs today well below our averages. In fact, 18 degrees, only checking in at 50 degrees for a daytime high. Sunset tonight, 8:23. We do have that messy weather. It's in the forecast. Now, showers from today slowly starting to wrap up, but we do have another system that is on the move. So this is a look at our future cast. At 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, we've got that band sitting up the northwest corner. As we head into early tomorrow morning, we're slowly starting to see that system creep our direction. So pushing up across the northeast mountains of Oregon. And then we've got a little line 7 o'clock tomorrow morning up across the northern mountains. When I see you back here in just a few minutes, we'll talk you through the timeline on exactly what you can expect as you're headed down for the Armed Forces Torchlight Parade. We'll also give you a look at that forecast if you're running in the Windermere half marathon or marathon. So details in just a few minutes.
Let's take a look at the parade route map now on your screen. Staging and the very start of the parade begins near the Centennial, and it looks like the Centennial Hotel there on North Washington Street. It'll go up First Avenue before zigzagging through downtown and ending just past the Numerica Sky Ride in front of Riverfront Park. The street closures began at 8 a.m. Thousands of people are expected downtown for the parade, and with events like this, safety's top of mind. A shooting at a nearby business last year serves as an example of how organizers have to be ready to pivot with little notice. Jara Cottingham has more on how police and businesses are preparing.
This is the intersection of Sprague and Washington where I'm standing now. 1 year ago, shots were fired behind me at PM Jacoy's. This forced the parade to completely reroute and prompted new initiatives to keeping the downtown core safer.
One of Spokane's most cherished traditions, the Armed Forces Torchlight Parade. And this year, police say they are ready In statement, Spokane police telling me they've been in this business a long time, and staff according to the size of the event. Police say they will have uniformed officers staged all along the route. Lilac Festival organizers reiterating they feel security won't be a problem.
They have great barricades that they are putting up in place to make sure that no unauthorized vehicle gets through.
And security starts early. Already, no parking notices on display along the parade route. Road closures will start in some parts of the city as early as 7 a.m. Saturday morning. This all coming a year after a shooting had a direct impact on the parade route.
Last year we decided to condense it, reroute it, and finish with the parade because we knew this event was adjacent to ours and it didn't impact our event.
And again, if you're planning to attend, be aware of those lane closures and parking restrictions. We have that information for you now on our website. Reporting in Spokane, Giera Cottingham, NonStop Local.
Well, the Spokane Chiefs played for the last time in the Spokane Arena this season. As we told you yesterday, AJ Howell joins us now in studio to break down if their season, though, will continue.
That's right, Morgan. Down 3-1 in the WHL Championship. Another loss would end their season. Spokane bringing out the big guns for Game 5. Chiefs legend Ray Whitney in the house, trying to bring the team a little magic. Scoreless until the second period. Off a face-off win, Medicine Hat's Nilo-Pekka Muhonen scores the first goal of the game. It's 1-0. Third period now, Medicine Hat on the power play, and it's WHL Player of the Year Gavin McKenna making it a 2-goal lead. Has some words for the Chiefs bench as he skates on by. Controversy here just minutes later as Dawson Cowan is taken out. Hunter St. Martin bangs it home. They'd review it, but say it's a goal. 3-0 Medicine Hat. The Chiefs seem to be done, but still fighting hard. Andrew Crystal able to score his first goal of the series. Minutes later, Asanali Sarkinov would get another, and just like that, it's a 1-goal game. But the rally would ultimately come up short. Bryce Pickford with the empty netter, and the Tigers get the win 4-2. They are the Western Hockey League champions and will play for the Memorial Cup, while the Spokane Chiefs season comes to an end in Game 5.
Got to give some credit to Medicine Hat. They played a very good game. They're a fast team. They played us very well. They're those little things of taking away our time and space and didn't give us a lot of time to make plays with the puck at times. And that's part of it too. It wasn't like our guys didn't try. We've had a good year. Unfortunately, it didn't finish the way we wanted it to. But I don't think anybody really expected us to be here this time of the year when we started this journey.
Obviously sad to see their season in Morgan, and we'll have more coverage, not just on our shows this weekend, but on our website. We know that fans want to hear from some of the older guys as well. So
most definitely.
A season to be proud of.
It is. There should be proud, right? And we actually did catch up with some Chiefs fans outside of the arena following the game. And as you can imagine, many were sad, but very proud of their team.
I think Spokane's a big hockey town. They love their Chiefs, love the Indians, So they definitely wanted to see this progress into Game 6 and Game 7. So it's kind of unfortunate.
It's great to know it's the middle of May and we're here, still hanging out and still going hard. There's tons of people out here tonight, not a dry seat, and I don't know. It's a really good feeling. It's good to know. I'm excited for next year.
Fans say the team has brought the community together. What a great season for the Chiefs. Well, developing now, Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown is calling it a mistake as the Commerce Department rescinds $48 million in seed funding for the Spokane Aerospace Tech Hub. It would have been a first-of-its-kind facility focusing on new types of lightweight, heat-moldable, and recyclable materials that can replace metal and aircraft parts. Nearly 50 organizations signed up to be a part of it. Mayor Brown said in a statement, quote, "We deserve better, and I am calling on our congressional delegation to join me in demanding the Trump administration reverse this decision," end quote. Well, tonight we're getting a better look at the damage after a car smashed into the entrance of River Park Square. There's plywood now where windows once were, and bricks are missing from the wall where the car hit. We brought you this as breaking news last night. One witness says she was waiting to go into a movie when the crash all happened last night, and the driver told police they were trying to avoid hitting someone on a scooter at the time. Officers say the driver was speeding, hit a parked car, went up onto the sidewalk, then crashed into the shopping center. The woman says that sound of the wreck got everyone's attention.
We heard like 3 big bangs, and which was scary because dark night movie theater thing. I was like, and employees are running around, and I was like, do we need to go?
Investigators say the driver was not impaired at the time. They were ticketed, though, for reckless driving. New tonight, a shelter-in-place order has been lifted along State Route 281 in Quincy. Grant County deputies, along with Quincy police, were looking for a wanted person in connection to a homicide. This all started around 5 o'clock tonight and wrapped up just before 8 o'clock. The wanted person was taken into custody. Roads in the area are closed or were closed, but they're back open now. As for what homicide this person's wanted for, that has not been released. A warning tonight about an online sextortion scheme targeting children parts of the inland Northwest. So Idaho Attorney General, that's Raul Labrador, says suspects are contacting kids through popular gaming platforms and messaging apps. Then they threaten to blackmail kids into sharing explicit pictures or engaging in self-harm. AG Labrador says it's run by an international group of criminals known as 764. He suggests keeping an eye out for what your kids are doing on the internet. Former FBI Director James Comey may soon be getting a visit from Secret Service agents who want to know more about a now-deleted social media post. Comey shared this photo on Instagram Thursday showing shells on the beach outlining the numbers 86 and then 47. 86 informally meaning to get rid of, or others use it as slang for murder. As for 47, President Trump is the 47th president. Comey and President Trump have a complicated history. The president fired him during his first term while he was investigating Russian meddling into the 2016 election.
We cannot allow people to get by without being held accountable for this kind of public call to assassinate the President of the United States.
Comey deleted the post and made another saying, "I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down." Well, your local Rite Aid could soon become a CVS, as court documents say CVS is set to take over many Rite Aid locations in Washington and Idaho. As for which stores are affected, that has not been released. A hearing on the matter is set for next week, as other retailers, including Walgreens and Albertsons, are also buying stores nationwide. This comes just weeks after Rite Aid filed for bankruptcy for the second time in less than 2 years. Well, still to come here tonight at 11, demanding justice as supporters of a Maryland man deported to El Salvador say they want due process for him. More from a protest today. And then get the umbrella and raincoats ready if you're headed to the Lilac Parade tomorrow. Leslie Lowe has a look at the rainy forecast, timing everything out after this.
We'll see some very spotty showers as we get into the overnight hours, but really they start to filter in and full by tomorrow morning. We'll look for widespread rain on and off throughout the day. Saturday, we've also got the potential of some thunderstorm activity, and unsettled weather is going to continue into the second half of the weekend. And as we kick off this next week, before we finally start to dry out and warm up as we get you into this next week. Satellite radar, again, you can see that band really starting to fizzle out. This is the problem weather maker, I guess, that we've dealt with throughout the day. Now shifting over to the east of us. Now we'll get a little bit of a break, and then we do get that next round that moves in. Overnight lows tonight dipping down into the upper 30s around Colville over towards Libby. We'll be in the low end of the 40s from Spokane into Coeur d'Alene down through the Palouse. Central Washington, we've got upper 40s, low 50s. That extends down into the Tri-Cities with upper 40s expected into Lewiston. So there are the chances for rain as we we get you into the Armed Forces Torchlight Parade, and you can see that they're pretty significant. Also, that threat of thunderstorm activity, we're all in it for all areas that are shaded in green, and you can see Spokane smack dab in the middle of that. So let's talk about the timeline. This is 5 o'clock on Saturday morning. Again, we've got that line sitting just off to the north into the west of us. Now, as I fast forward us, and we'll get us into the afternoon hours, so you can see those showers are pretty pop up in nature. The areas that are shaded in yellow, that would indicate to me that we're seeing some heavier showers. Boy, the heaviest band is to the south and to the east of us as we head through the day, but those showers really do start to filter in. And of course, wouldn't you know, the timeline right now is later in the afternoon and in the early evening. So this is 5 o'clock. Again, showers start to move through. I'm going to take you hour by hour. This is 6, 7 o'clock as everybody's getting set up and the parade is about to start. Showers are in full swing. We'll continue to see those showers through the 8 o'clock hour. Here's the 9 o'clock hour, 10 o'clock, when is usually we start to see the parade wrap up. And then finally the back edge as we get you into the overnight hours. Now, daytime highs, they're also another player. We'll just be into the mid-60s here in eastern Washington and over towards North Idaho. A little bit warmer into central Washington, but once the sun sets, temperatures dip. So not only do you need your rain gear, but you need to make sure that you're bundled up as well. Make sure the kiddos are too. This is the next system as we head into the day. Sunday, again, a lot of you have activities, whether it be graduation parties or that Windermere, again, marathon. If that's you, know that scattered showers will stick around throughout the afternoon on Saturday. We've got another wave that pulls in as we get you into the day on Monday before we finally start to dry out, and we do see those warmer temperatures by next week.
Well, coming up, a 4-year soccer starter whose most impressive feats might be done inside the classroom. We meet our Student Athlete of the Week from Central Valley right after this break. Well, protesters gathered outside a courthouse in Maryland today to show support for Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He's a Maryland man who the Trump administration acknowledges was wrongfully deported due to an administrative error. Sherelle Hubbard has more on his legal battle.
Supporters of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Maryland man wrongly deported to an El Salvador prison, say they want due process for him. The Trump administration called his deportation in March an administrative error, but has since failed to comply with the Supreme Court's order to facilitate his return.
Where the Supreme Court ordered the government to release and return Kilmer, as we have seen over these last few weeks, it was the same thing. The government being absolutely just being very clear that they had done nothing to comply with the court's order.
Protesters held signs reading Todos Somos Kilmar, which translates to "We are all Kilmar." Some worry that a violation of one person's due process rights threatens everyone in the U.S.
Yes, it's about one man, but it's also about the Constitution of the United States. Donald Trump needs to be reminded that he is not bigger than the Constitution.
The federal judge overseeing Abrego Garcia's case held a hearing to determine what officials are doing to bring Garcia back from El Salvador. The judge expressed frustration about the government's latest argument that information hasn't been turned over, in part to protect state secrets.
Bring him home now.
In the past, the Trump administration has said that with Abrego Garcia in El Salvador's custody, it lacks the power to return him to the U.S.
You could clearly tell the judge was not buying it.
Sherelle Hubbard, NonStop Local.
The Trump administration claims Abrego Garcia is a member of the notorious MS-13 gang. His lawyers maintain he does not have ties to MS-13. Well, caught on camera, one alligator is living its best gator life, where this video was captured and what officials did once they spotted the gator after this. Well, it appears it's not just humans looking to get away. Crews inspecting a stormwater pipe in Florida made an unexpected find, but maybe not too surprising because of where it happened. Christina Watkins reports.
As you watch the camera shuffle below the concrete, making sure this stormwater pipe is ready for the rainy season, crews couldn't believe they spotted a gator just chilling in the pipe underneath Lockwood Boulevard. And neither could people in Oviedo when we showed it to them.
Weird indeed.
Looks like a baby.
The city posted on social media Thursday saying you loved him the first time around and now he's back. The first time they're referring to was 2 years ago, 2023. Same area, same routine check of a pipe. though it's highly unlikely this is the same gator from before.
It's Florida. If there's water, there's going to be a gator.
Though just like before, people are loving this little fella, even naming it the so-called pipe pup.
That sounds like an appropriate name for it, the pipe pup.
Hoping the gator can stay cozy, safe, and away from people down under.
No gator around me, not cool at all.
Well, the gator was allowed to stay in the pipe since it wasn't bothering anything or anyone. Well, still to come, one last look at your forecast as the weekend is upon us, making those final plans. Leslie has a look right after this.
Well, we've been watching this forecast for the weekend all week long, and nothing has changed. If anything, it's kind of ramped up a little bit. So we are expecting rain as well as the possibility of some thunderstorms as we get you into the Armed Forces Torchlight Parade. More rain continuing as we head into the second half of the weekend for all those graduation parties and or the Windermere Open. Just be prepared for that. It'll start to taper off on Monday, and then we finally warm up and dry out as we get into this next week.
All right, hang in there this weekend if you're going to watch. But if you don't want to go out to the parade, we're going to be broadcasting on SWX and on our apps, nonstoplocal.com if you want to watch. So
staying warm
inside
and dry.
We're going to both be
pretty
doing
good.
that. Have a good weekend, everyone. We'll see you back here Monday evening.